you talked about 50% of your, sorry if I'm...
No, there's the light behind, it's
right.
the floodlights.
You talked about 50% of your academy being on the field for Southampton. The team on the field was 50% from your academy. I think there was a game last year that Barcelona had where 100% was out of their academy. You look at the way they've dominated the Spanish side. How far away do you think you are from being 100% academy and then hopefully dominating the English side?
I think we're a long way from that. We looked at what's the feasibility of 50%, 60%, whatever, and it brings me to, and the reason I say we're a long way from it, and we probably wouldn't pursue that unless by chance it just grew without, because of what we've got in place, it just happened that way. Because one of the arguments I've had with what's wrong with English football, why the national team doesn't do so well, considering that I used to be in charge of developing the national team programme and stuff like that, and this goes back to the previous question about the politics behind it all. My view is that our players, our young academy players, get as good as they are because of the environment they're in. So I've been very anti the loan system, because I could never work out the logistics behind why would you spend millions on your academy developing the Southampton way and then send them to a level which is much lower, because you're trying to develop Premier League players. When I first went in there, I got all the players around. I did a little sort of pep talk, which was about, this is where we want to be. We want to be in the Premier League, and we want 50% of the academy boys in that team. That's what you've got to drive for. But if you're going to be in a Premier League team, you have to be an international player. Very rare do you get in the top half of the Premier League competitively where all of those players are not international players. So that's the level at which they have to aspire to. And what my experience has told me, that if I am a midfield player like James Ward-Prowse, who plays in the middle of our midfield, who's come through since he was 8 in our academy, steps into an environment when he joins the first team, and our under 21 and under 18 players, they train with the first team 2, 3, 4 times a week, prior to making their debut. So if he's playing with, I know a friend from Kenya at the back. If he's playing, James Ward-Prowse is playing against Victor Wanyama every day in training, a top international player who's played in the Champions League, then he's got to be good. He's got to develop to do that. If Luke Shaw is developing through the academy, comes in the first team, and then has to play against an international player who's established as an international in a foreign team, he's going to become a better player, far more so than going on loan to Oldham and learning the tricks of the trade in that league. So that's the loan bit. But the other bit is, if the FA think that by bringing in a quota system, or by making it difficult to get a work permit, or banning numbers of players that can come in from abroad, then our players are not going to get that development opportunity. They are not going to be playing against the best that the world can attract into the Premier League, and that means I don't see how that's going to help the national team. I think what we've got to do is get a balance. So if we were to say 100% of our kids come through the academy, we wouldn't be doing the right job. So I think it's that balance, and we think 50% is an achievable target, but it also is a realistic target in terms of developing the squad to the level that it needs to be.